Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's Fiberific Live Craft and Chat, where we craft and chat live. We are playing the good game, the witchcraft game, in this week's live stream, where the dice decide what project I'm going to be working on, but you get to decide if I keep working on it. So if you are here in the live chat, there is some options in the description. So if you are a channel member, you can make a reroll happen by using your free monthly members chat. If you're not a channel member or you've already used your free monthly members chat, you can trigger the same thing with a yellow, I think it's yellow super chat. And if you actually want to choose which of the projects, then you can do this with an orange super chat. Okay, I've been running around a little bit this morning. I'm a little bit out of breath. I was like 30 seconds before the live stream. I'm like, wait, I need something. And I had to run out and run back in. So I'm a little puffed. I hope you can hear me, you can see me, all those kinds of good things. Okay, big, deep breath in. Good morning to everybody who is in the chat. Those of you that are back at work, back at school, all those sorts of things. Great to see you if you're able to make it. Can see and hear you. That's excellent. Thank you, Sally. Appreciate you letting me know. So, I'm just want to just double check some. I've got my YouTube screen a bit crushed down here. There we go. It's all good. It's all good. Everything's good. Everything's happening. It's all running. Okay. So, it is the third Thursday of the month. Therefore, if you are local, if you are in the Brisbane-ish region, we will be meeting up, Caffeinated Crafters, IKEA tonight. If you want to come along, feel free. Feel free. It is just in the IKEA dining hall area. You'll find us. We're pretty rowdy. We've got some yarn. And, sometimes we're rowdier than other times. So feel free to come and join us. One thing I really want to point out, I did put a community post out earlier in the week, but there will be no productivity stream this weekend. I have decided to go and do family things instead, so I won't even be home. So hopefully you will still be productive. You can always watch a replay. And let that be your guide for your project. I've got lots there. Frances is back from her cruise this morning. That is awesome, Frances. I just tried to bring the wrong thing on screen. There you go. That's great. I hope your cruise was wonderful. Seems to be odd weather for cruising, so hopefully it all went well. Now, what I'm going to do, I can keep nattering. You guys know I can keep nattering, but I'm going to grab my dice and let us roll for our first project. Now, before I do that, I want to point out I am not going to work on the mosaic today because I didn't do the rows from last week. So I've got extra rows to get done, and I don't want to mix up the order. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Alrighty, dice. But we will take note, and we will make sure that that it is all going. There is a post in the fun zone, so feel free to post photos of the projects, trips, squishmallow, etc. Absolutely. We've also got a post over on the Discord, I think. Is it there yet? It might not be there yet. It might not be there yet. I could be lying. Alrighty. We are going to go in and roll our dice. So this is the one we want. So let us roll for which project we're going to work on. Number 5. Knit the knee-high socks. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do is put that aside, but I need to roll for the next 3 colors of the mosaic. So we have a 1, a 3, and a 7. So 1, 3, and 7. So it is, what is that? Is that rooster, anemone, and duckling off the top of my head? It could be wrong. It could be wrong. Let me just grab a photo of the numbers. That makes it easier for me for laters. Alrighty, so number 5. Number 5, knee-high socks. Where are they? I saw them. There they are. Oh, I nearly didn't grab my iPad. I'm glad I did because otherwise I would not be able to. Hang on. iPad's all like, oh, you left me on all night. Oh, where? Come on. We got this. Let's go to the right project. Go away, add. There we go. We have this. So if you're wondering what I'm working on, these are basic knee-high type socks. My project is over on Ravelry, so you can check it out there. But I'm knitting 2 at a time socks that hopefully will be quite long. Now, the pattern said that it would only use 1 ball, and I was dubious. I was very dubious. And our good friend and mod here in the chat, Kelly, she has actually made them already. We started at the same time. She has finished hers. I got up past the heel turn, didn't like how they fit and pulled it back. I didn't make the foot long enough. So therefore they were very uncomfortable. And I mean, seriously, if we're going to make our own clothes, if we're going to make our own things, we've got to make them at least comfortable, right? So I pulled it back and now I am doing, where am I up to? I'm up to the foot gusset. So I pulled it all the way back down to just the foot, added in about a whole extra inch nearly before I was happy, and then started the foot gusset again. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, I'll just move my phone out of the way there. There we go. I'm using some old Motivera Noir that was in my stash. It had been in my stash for a really long time. And so there we go. Oh, Louis come for a visit. Hello, big man. He's like, I don't know if I want to stay. Nope, he just came to check to see if he'd left any toys in the bed. And he's off again. So, yeah. So, Kelly not only finished her pair of knee highs, which used under 100 grams of yarn for actual knee-length socks, which is weird, right? So, yeah. Let me just have a look here. I just need to refresh a screen. Live chat. There we go. Alrighty. So, Kelly's popped in the links for the project. Thank you, Kelly. Game Widows is working on the toes of her socks that she started Friday night. Excellent. Freaky Geek is lurking while he spins and listens. That is awesome. Freaky Geek. Hello, Shannon. Welcome to the chat, Samantha. If you can not spam the chat, that would be amazing. But welcome along all the same. So I don't know if that was an exit. Oh no, you removed one. You removed one. It's all good. It's all good. The software that I used didn't show me that you'd removed it. So it's all good. Good to see you, Samantha. So yeah. Talia's making 164 one round granny squares. Why? What are you making? What are you making? That's all good, Samantha. I didn't realize that you had removed a comment. That's all good. So yeah, what are you making, Talia, that requires 164 one round granny squares? Bianca is working on a purple top while watching this in the car on her way home. That is, I really hope that somebody else is driving. I'm sure there is someone else driving. I'm just teasing. Talia is making, the cherry blossom blanket. That's right. You've got that over in the Discord, haven't you? If we have a Fibrific Discord now, so if you want to jump over there and share the projects that you're working on, and feel free to do that. We have a whole section for that where we can all be the cheer squad for everybody and encourage everyone to finish things. Might just be that people are having encouraged me to finish things because, I don't finish them. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun over there. Lots of discussions happening over favorite books, favorite movies, as well as our yarn crafts. For those of you in Australia, I just want to put this out there. What's the date today? Oh, good. Bendigo are having a sale on their cotton. It's a limited time flash sale, taking a couple of bucks off per ball. So if you need Bendigo cotton, now is the time. I am so not looking. I'm not looking. La 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 la. La 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 la. Not looking. But I thought I would still share it with you just in case you are on the hunt. But I'm not looking. Definitely not. Bob Curran is in the chat. It's great to see you, Bob. Great to see you. So, in my cup today, I have 3 because, beverage goblin. In my cups today, I have sparkling water that I have made with my trusty soda stream because, that's how I do it here. To hit those dry spots in the back of my throat. I also have standard tap water. And in my Yeti, the Yeti of awesomeness is some beautifully brewed tea. So I'm actually looking forward to that. We have some very sad news here at the Hills house, which is the coffee machine has given up the ghost. Now we're not 100% certain it's gone. We are going to take it to a coffee machine repair place and hopefully they can fix it. But all of my skills that I have for making it do the things have been thwarted. I am unable to make it do anything. I can't even get it to turn off properly, which means I can't get it to reseat its stupid infuser. So I can't open the door and pull the infuser out because until the infuser is reseated, it won't let you pull it out. And it's so very annoying. I'm very annoyed. I had to have different coffee this morning. I actually think it was more caffeinated, and therefore now, after having a cup of it, it was maybe a bit stronger than I'm used to. I definitely couldn't have another coffee for the stream. Well caffeinated. Okay. Let me look here. Dolores has made it. Hello, Dolores. I know you really wanted to make it in time for the live today. So good to see you. Sally says, I really need to reduce my stash and not increase it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's definitely where I'm at. Shannon Cooper is working on the first felting project, and I'm not sure how much bigger I need to make it. I'm not sure. Like, it depends on the yarn. Some yarns really felt down quite a lot. Aspen May says, I'm definitely not looking. My bestie sent me the link, but I cannot spend any more money on craft this month. Just this month, though. Just this month. Yeah. It's only 3 years old. For some reason, I was convinced it was heaps older. And my husband was like, no. We bought it in 2020 he was like, when I was working from home and it died. And I'm like, oh, I've just realized, like, quite literally just now, the coffee machine dies when Tim works from home. He's just like, oh, hey. It's Tim. Tim is the coffee machine, like, destroyer. Tim, you need to work in the office again. He's not in the office from his own choice. The office is not there for a little bit, but he'll be back in the office soon. But not soon enough. The coffee machine is dead. Rip. If you can still see the machine, it's not totally gone. It's just not working. You're right. Yes, absolutely. Kathy says, if we don't have Discord, where should we show our work? Is there a place for it? Yeah. Facebook group. Facebook group is still there for sure. Today was 100% a coffee day. Tea was not going to cut it. Yeah, well, I did get coffee. I do have an AeroPress. I do have multiple other ways to make coffee. I also have instant coffee, and I got a coffee grinder, and I have a French press, and I've got a Turkish pot. I have a multitude of other ways to make coffee. It's just my espresso machine is toast. Alison is back to weaving, needs to use up some stash as well. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree with that statement. Where is it? Pointing that statement there. I can't make it work. That one. No, no, no more stash. Oh, I do love the bending. Me too. It's such nice cotton to work with. Yeah, agreed. This agreed. Mhm. For the safety of the coffee machines. Um, does the cotton stretch after making? I suppose it would depend on what you've made, and if you're knitting or crocheting. I've found that when I make blankets with it, like anything, the weight of the cotton does make it stretch a little bit. That's crocheted blankets. I'm knitting my first blanket with it. Um, I haven't washed it yet. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be stretching out while I'm working on it. So maybe somebody else in the chat has more experience. I've only really made a lot of blankets. And while they may stretch a little, it's nothing that makes the blanket unusable. So I'm not sure. I know Kelly has just made a top using Bendigo cotton. So she might be able to help you more. Okay, I gotta keep knitting, keep knitting. So just double checking you guys can't hear my husband talking. Are you knitting summer tops? Yeah, okay. So Kelly will probably be one who can help you. If anyone else in the chat has used Bendigo cotton for knitting tops or knitting garments, if you can help Bub out, that would be awesome. I'm just trying to think. I've used organic cotton. It wasn't Bendigo cotton, and it seems to be going fine as a top. But I can't speak. No, you guys can't hear Tim. That is great. Um, yeah, that is good. Bianca says that she's like for her knitted tops, she's finding it is stretching a little. I think it would also depend on the gauge that you're knitting, so keep that in mind as well. Um, yeah, if you are knitting loose stitches versus tight stitches, loose stitches would stretch more than tight stitches would. So, I mean, it's gonna come down to a lot of different things, like as we all know with yarn, it always does. So, but yeah, Bianca's noticed that with hers, it is a little. Molly is saying in her experience, it does not stretch that much, just a little. Okay, so I just need to. There we go. Next row. Happy Thursday, Mousy Moo. Great to see you here in the chat. So knit one. Left. Alrighty, and we keep knitting. Just keep knitting, knitting, knitting. If you guys don't want to see me knitting 2 at a time socks, then you do have the ability, you do have the power to change what I'm working on. Otherwise, I'm quite happy to keep going because, like, this is a project I would really like to get done in time for winter. I'm also keeping an eye on the time, you guys. Like, so if you guys can help me, I need to consciously make sure I am standing every now and again. So last week's live stream, I didn't stand enough and I suffered for it afterwards. So about every half an hour, I'd like to stand for at least 5 minutes. So we are now at 18 minutes or so in. So in about 12 minutes, um, I want to stand up. I could probably tell Google to do that for me, but I haven't. And, knowing my luck, I'd try and set it up and she'd misbehave, honestly. She'd just misbehave. Bianca says it's the weight of the cotton. It's quite heavy. Okay. It's good to know as well. Glad to catch you for a little while I'm on a lunch break. Awesome, Mousy. Glad to see you while you're here. Yes. So, what was that one? Or you could do like me and craft something that prevents you from looking at the screen as much. Mind you, 2 at a time crafting. Yeah. 2 at a time socks. I think I would like to keep an eye on them because, if I wreck one, the chances I'm going to wreck two. I want to go that way. And that's right. We've had this discussion about how much I hate make one rights. There we go. But I did it. I did it. It's all good. Okay, switch yarns. Make sure I'm using the right yarn or the correct yarn for the correct sock. Double checking I haven't done anything silly like cross them over. Always good to double check this stuff. Can't rely on myself to not botch things up. Do it all the time. So I think it's time for me to go to the optometrist again. I think I need my reading glasses made stronger. I've realized I've had to start pushing my hands away to find the focal point again, which is annoying. I don't want to do that. My whole life, I never needed reading glasses up until the last couple of years. And I think it's like that once you hit 40 thing, your body starts breaking, everything starts falling apart kind of thing. I always needed glasses for like driving and distance, but I'd never needed them for up close things. And I found now that I'm actually reading less because if I don't have my glasses handy, I just don't read a book. Like I'm like, oh, I'll read that another time. Um, Knit Spin Girls says make one right is still better than make one pearl. Oh yes. Oh, definitely. Oh, make one pearl either way is icky. Agreed. Um, I have mine booked for Mondays. I broke mine. Oh, yes. We when we first got Louis the dog, we were hitting the optometrist quite regularly as Louis was eating our glasses. So we all went through. I think he got all of us. I think he got Abby the worst with eating 2 sets of hers. He gnawed on one of my sets, and he ate one of Tim's as well. So it definitely cost us some in the optometrist's office. Like, and we'd go in and we'd be like, "Hey, can you guys do anything about this?" And they'd be like sanding them down and smoothing them out so that we could at least wear them while we waited for the new glasses to arrive. And it was definitely a interesting time. Definitely an interesting time. And then since Louis come along, I haven't been able to wear like in-ear headphones like to bed because when they fell out in my bed, Louis would chew them up, and I had to very fast learn how to pull them apart to double check Louis had only eaten plastic and not the battery. So I stopped wearing those to bed. So now I have to wear the big ones, which are not always comfortable to sleep in, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Sucks to need a paid subscription for sight. Haha, my daughter and I both need new glasses, which is an ouchie on the wallet. Yeah. It is like all 3 of us here, Tim, Abby, and myself, we're all bespeckled folks. So we all need glasses for driving as well. So that usually means prescription sunglasses as well. And yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just part of life, right? It's not one of the awesome parts of life. It's just one of the parts that we just have to go, yep, kind of need those. Kind of need them. Yeah, but it is kind of funny calling it a paid subscription. Like I go through about every 6 months and double check because does anybody else here in the chat get like subscription creep where you've like slowly signed up for more things and then you're like, hang on a second, this is getting silly. Go and have a look through, work out what you're actually using, get rid of some, or justify their existence because you don't want to get rid of them. Hello, Disney Plus, I'm looking at you. So yeah, definitely subscription creep happens in this household from time to time. Miss Pin Girl says, I'm as blind as a bat without my glasses. Yes, I totally get it. I've got this point where I don't actually need my like I don't need them for moving around and stuff in the house. It's not until I've either got to read something that's far away or I've got to read something that's up close. But like I'm the TV, where the distance from the TV to the couch and the fact that the TV's bloody huge means that I don't tend to need my glasses to watch TV, which is nice. But if I'm crafting, I need these glasses to be able to see what I'm doing. Oh, look, I'll tell you right now, I'll be very happy when I use up this yarn that I rewrapped around the ball. It is very annoying. There we go. and change yarns and knit one. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm a donkey. I have to tink back this row. I added stitches on the instep when I didn't need to. I just got into the swing. Come back here, stitch. Oh, man. Okay, let's. Alrighty. Be more careful when you're tinking. Don't drop the stitches when you're half blind and they're tiny. Alrighty. I probably could have left it. It's like 2 stitches, but I don't want to. Um, um Game Winner says, "I'm so overdue for new glasses." Yeah, it's one of those things for me. I try and go and get checked every year because I do have private health, which makes it easier. And it means that because I have 3 sets of glasses, they normally have like buy one, get one free. So if I do it every year, I can get that bonus each year and keep my prescriptions up to date and stuff. But every now and again, I get a little, oh, do I want to use the word slack? Slack's probably not the word, but I just don't want to go. I don't want to sit there and do the things and like be reminded that my body's falling apart. My eyes are falling apart. Um, I have driving and comport glasses. I don't know what comport glasses are. Shannon says I've worn glasses since I was 6. I probably needed to get glasses when I was younger. I used to have to I've actually got like a nerve damage issue on one of my eyes. So when I was young, there's these photos of me where I'm a pirate and I have it actually looked like a cyclops. It was like a big band-aid. It was like a patch band-aid thing that I had to wear every single day. And so school photos, everything. And I think I was in about year level I wanna say year level 2 or 3, and I had to do it for quite some time, but it did mean I didn't have to wear glasses for a few more years. I didn't get glasses until after I finished high school. I probably should have realized during high school I needed glasses, but it wasn't until I had to start catching buses to work and realized I couldn't read the bus numbers and was hailing all the buses, so that's when I realized I needed distance glasses. I'm the only one in my family who never had glasses. My eyesight seems to be pretty good, but I do probably in need to get in to see an eye doctor just for a check see. Yeah, it's always a good thing just to like, if you can, just double check it. Eye health is one of these things that's just quite often overlooked. It's like one of those things where you don't do anything about it until you notice a problem. And sometimes by then it could take more to get it sorted. The recommendation is to go and at least in Australia, it's to go and get your eyes checked every 2 years, to the point where Medicare will actually let you get a free eye check done every 2 years, if you've got Medicare in Australia. I think most people have Medicare. I'm not sure. Anyway, um, oh, yeah. Which one is better? I'm like, they're both blurry. Neither is good. Like, it's like, "Can you show me again? Can you show me again? Can you" they look the same. They look the same. Uh, my wife had complications with one of the meds she needed during pregnancy, causing her to have blurry vision. She needed to renew her driver's license and couldn't pass the eye exam. Oh, gosh. Wow. That is crazy. Morning, Mel. Good to see you here. Have a drink. Ah, yes, good point, Chintamani. She has to get hers checked every 12 months because diabetes is not kind to the eyes. Absolutely. There are different things that make it so you have to check things. And I've just noticed we are at the 30-minute mark. So up we go. No, there we go. I'll join you momentarily as the table goes up. Hello. There we go. Let's see if I can knit and stand at the same time. I haven't tried this. I need to adjust. There we go. That's better. Alrighty. Woo! Yeah, it's my table. It's my table going up. So I can stand for a little bit. Alrighty. Chintamani has used her ad skippers, Chintamani. Is that because you would like a re-roll? If that is the case, let me know. If you can write re-roll in the chat. And I will quickly finish to the end of this row so that I don't lose where I'm up to in these socks. Normally I would just drop it, but with these socks, if I do that, I will get confused. So I don't mind stopping in between each sock, but not in the middle of a row. So yep, re-roll for Abby. Alrighty. So Chintami is normally pretty good luck. I have actually been getting some balls of yarn into Abby's blanket. So Abby's happy with the well, she's not happy it's not finished, but she's happy with the progress, I believe. Alrighty, so we have finished that round. We are on to round 2. So let us grab a dice and alrighty, let's see what we've got. Reroll. It's 1. I'm going to roll again because I'm not working on the mosaic blanket today. 4. The Scrappy blanket ripple. Okay, let me put this away. Now, before I go and get the Scrappy blanket ripple, which is in another room because it's in a big crate, I thought I'd show you where I'm up to so far with the Attic 24. So I still have about 5 more colours to put on for this week's clue. It's grown quite quickly, actually. It's very big. It's quite wide, 120 wide at least, I think. So yeah, but I'll go grab the Scrappy blanket. Oh, and I'm loving using this yarn. It is the Wool Warehouse home brand Yarn Smith's yarn. Loving it. Hang on, I'll grab the other project. The dice roll called for a project that I didn't have in the It's my blanket, isn't it? It's not your blanket. Better keep them happy, Chantel. Where do you want the dice roll? Okay. Alrighty. Let us remove that one. Abby is disappointed that it is not her blanket that we're going to be working on. Alrighty. So where's that ball of black? Is it this one? All right. And I've realised I don't have the hook, so I've got to run out and grab a 4mm hook. Okay. Have a hook. Have yarn. Will crochet. It was like the one project that wasn't in here. All right, let's have a look in here. Good morning, Florida. Welcome to the chat. Not sure what all the sixes are for. My toddler has chewed up the end of my... Oh, no. Goodness me. Yeah, look, I have to say, while the Bravia is definitely my favorite of the acrylics. Actually, there's no chain there. While it's definitely my favorite acrylic to use, I will say that the Yarn Smiths Create is coming in a close second. Come on, you're all tangled around the blanket a bit. You are rather. Definitely enjoying it. I'm not sure how I feel about the colors in the blanket. I mean, it's a kit, so I didn't really get to choose the colors, but it's a little... It feels... I don't know, it feels a bit 80s to me. Feels 80s. Do those colors scream 80s to anybody else or just me? It's like late 70s, early 80s. And, like, I know some people love those kinds of colors because it's like nostalgia. Not me. Not me. That looks very striking with the contrasting colors. Yeah, look, I love this one. So, I'm very much enjoying it. It's being made out of scraps. So yeah. This one hasn't been worked on in quite some time, actually. Gotta think about how I do the rows. Alrighty. It was very 1970s colored. Yes, I'm thinking late 70s, early 80s. But I love how the yarn feels. And I would happily use it again for another project. That's how I feel about the actual yarn itself. Let's have a look. Yep, that's good. Yeah, I mean, and I like it. But I think I'm more of a dual tones rather than a warm tones kind of person. I'm not quite sure why there's such a long tail on this orange. I'll check it when I get to the other end. I think I'd cut it off and realized I'd botched something up and had to pull it out and redo the row, only to realize there was a ton left over, but I'll double check when I get to the end to make sure it's all right. I was like, I probably won't need my fan. Abby's aircon was making it nice and cool in here. I need the fan now. Alrighty. The orange is a long tail animal. Oh, speaking of long tail orange animals, when I went out to grab this crochet hook, my little caddy of tools is on the arm of the chair I like to sit on. Macy, the cat's out there, and she did like the whole long cat to cover the two seats, going, "No, there's no room for you here. I'm taking all the space." So it's like, righto, honey, I've just come for the hook. Knitspin Girl says, none of the blanket kits are really my colors. Look, I was thinking that with the Fireside, which is an Attic 24 from a couple of years back. And once I made the blanket, I actually loved it. I was really like, do you know what? I actually really do like how these colors work together. And then the Spring Frost, was that what it was, last year's blanket? I really enjoyed the colors. I didn't like working with the yarn. So I'll be very happy if she continues these kits with both Special DK and the Yarnsmiths yarns. I know this year part of it was due to the fact that there was a problem with some of the yarns, with some of the Special DK colors, that it meant that some people had to wait for their kits. But I just really hope that, let me just look here. So it's 2 lots in there. Okay. 1, 2. All right. Just making sure I do the pattern right. Let me just do the flip and I'll be able to chat again. This one's getting quite long. It's probably long enough to be a little knee rug by now, but there's still a lot of yarn. So I thought I'd just keep going. Okay, and then 1. So 5 and then 1. Yes. All right. Okay, back to the normal pattern. Okay. Let's have a look in the chat here. 2 to 3 kilo cats need all the land sheets. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. I should have known. I definitely should have known. Hey, Holly, great to see you here. We're using the same hook right now. Are we really? Clover 4 mils. Bring them. Who in the chat has a Clover 4 mil? So those of you over on the Discord already know this, but I realized that with Abby's blanket, I was doing like the yarn ball count based on how many balls of yarn were left rather than counting how many I'd actually used, which, you know, you think that would work until you realize that you actually started a different blanket with that yarn using a couple of the balls. And then you find that blanket, and that's when you realize, hang on a second, there weren't 20 balls in that bag to start with. Like you bought 20, sure, but there is a random amount in this other blanket. So, but I had a chat with Abby, got her to tell me how much more blanket she wants. And while she does want it longer than what it currently is, she doesn't want it like crazy much longer. So I was, no matter whether I can pull the yarn out of this other little swatchy thing or not, doesn't matter. There'll be plenty enough yarn. So I was like, whew, what a relief. Let's have a look. Bub's got one. Sally's got one. All righty. Okay. I'm thinking it's time to sit back down again. So let me just do that. Ready, everybody, for sitting down? Those of you that are playing the sit-stand game? And I need to fix the camera up again. Bling, there we go. Hello. Oh, that's too much. Alrighty. And the microphone. Okay, sitting back down again. Bob says, my cat came home after being away for 2 months. She wanted to have a holiday. The cat just went off and did some exploring and then came back. It was like, no, it's not actually better out there. It's better here. There's regular food. All righty. My brain is like had to switch gears from knitting to crochet. Does anybody else need a little minute, like when you change projects, to like just be like, okay, I'm in the zone now? Or is it just me? So Kim's still kicking around. She's just not part of this group anymore. She's doing other crafts and stuff now. Let's have a look here. Oh, tell you what, I'm really glad. I nearly didn't grab a glass of sparkled water today. I nearly just went with 2 cups of tea and a cup of water. And I'm like, man, I need to do that more often. We had a lot of fires and lots of strangers with the Royal Firefighters, over 30 people, and he doesn't like strangers. So he just went off and had some alone time and then came back. Fair enough. 2 months seems to be like quite a long time. I hope he's all okay. Probably could do with a bonus worming treatment or flea treatment or something just to get him back into domestic life. But yeah. Our Mr. Tibbles, he's getting old now. He's up there. He's on the 14-year, nearly 15-year mark. And he goes outside for like 10 minutes and then yells at you like he's been out there for hours and you've deserted him. Like, let me back in. I've been waiting at the door for like 14 seconds. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's not, but it is. You know what I mean? Like it is, but it's not, but it is. Yeah, Chintami, the weather's not awesome around here at the moment, is it? I mean, where we are, pretty lucky we don't get too much in the way of the dramatic weather. I was talking to someone about that yesterday, and I was just like, like considering, you guys know about the sewer issue, but aside from that, we've been so lucky. Just so lucky. Like we've kept power, we've kept internet, we've kept our roof. Do you know what I mean? Like out of all the things that have been happening, while the sewer thing is horrible and gross and stomach churning, it's not destructive. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. That meme, it's been 57 years. Absolutely. Absolutely. He acts like that for sure. You've had some tornadoes nearby. Oh, I hope you're all right, Russell. I really do. Chintamani says, I skip all the nasty storms. They all go above us or below us. Yeah, that's kind of like what happens with us as well. I think we're just on the other side of a mountain, but like not enough for us to like see a mountain, but enough that the weather splits around it. So, yeah. Um, yeah. All righty. Keep crocheting. I'm going to test my tea in a second. Just, got to test the tea, see if it's going to burn my face off or if it needs its lid off for a little bit before I actually drink it. I'll do that now. Okay. Are we ready? Tea testing time. Let's see. I'm like, I only made it like however long ago, and I'm like, okay, I did put plenty of milk in it, but is it enough? Okay. I mean, it's hot. It's hot. I might just. It didn't quite scald my tongue, but it just needs a little minute with its little lid off just to get it to drinking temperature. It's a little too hot for me. For other people, I can imagine it would be fine. I do like my beverages a little on the cooler side. Like when I go to cafes and the baristas are there and I get to, and like there's no one around, I'll actually ask them to only heat my milk to like 55 or 57 degrees. I don't want the 60, 65. It's too hot. So, yeah. Which like some baristas like, no, and others like, cool, no problems. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Don't spill it now that it's got its little safety cap off. Luckily, I did some finagling. Like when we brought the new desk in, I moved some things around. So on the side where all my drinks are, there is like, other than the motor for the table, which I've just realized, there's actually nothing electrical that's on the table. Everything's either up off little stands or on the other side. So fingers across. I mean, I'm exceptionally talented. I can knock over a cup of drink and have it go meters. So, you know, it's not going to 100% protect anything, but it gives me a better chance. uh, So just as a reminder for those that are coming in, today is the third Thursday of the month, which means Caffeinated Crafters is on at IKEA Logan. So if you are localish and you can make it, we start at 6. They kind of kick us out at around 8:30ish, 8:45. Or probably close at 8:30 actually. We grab some, IKEA meatballs, IKEA coffee, sit back, use their good lighting. Absolutely, Sally. Absolutely. You've got to do what you got to do. Leanne says, I've only ever spilt coffee on one project, and of course it was a white project. Oh my goodness. Have I spilt coffee? I'm sure I've spilt coffee on projects. I'm sure I have. Even just like little bits of coffee. I don't know if it's ruined anything. I'm not sure. I'm sure I have. All righty, I'm going to have to pick a color out of the crate soon. So we've done I kind of do it in like a darker, lighter kind of thing. Like that's about the extent of the planning of the colors for this is like, so that's the lighter one. That's a darker one. So, something lighter, but I think I'm starting to run out of colors. So it's going to make it a little bit harder to do that. You need to match the color of your beverage to your project or just drink clear beverages, like water, vodka, gin. Definitely. Yeah. All righty. Let's keep it going here. It's kind of nice to finish off this black. It's been sort of sitting there as a half done row for some time. So it is nice to get through a section of it. Has anyone been watching anything interesting? I've kind of been a bit like, I mean, I've been watching Sanctuary that I got for Christmas on Blu-ray. And I can honestly say the Blu-ray quality is way better than even the DVD quality was, because I did have a couple of the seasons on DVD. No idea what happened to them. I think I lent them to someone and then they never came home. But Tim and Abby bought me the complete Blu-ray set for Christmas. And so I'm loving the quality of it on Blu-ray. And because I've been watching, I think it was season 1 is on Prime. but none of the other seasons. And it's so frustrating because they like list them out. It's not until you go to watch the episode, they're like, that episode's not available. And you're just like, are you kidding me? It's so frustrating. But at least it's like you got to watch a season. Do you know what I mean? Like and it's not like an odd season in the middle. Cause like, was it not Eureka? It was Haven. In Australia, you could watch like season 1 and 2 and 4 and 5, but not season 3. It was really weird. Anyway, it was kind of bizarre. I emailed Prime over it. I was just like, what's the deal? This is kind of weird, right? Like that you've got all the seasons except for this one. And then a few days later, I got a notification that season 3 was available for Australia. Yay. So I think it might have just been like an oversight somewhere. And just a little email just sort of jogged it. But I think when it comes to like where you get season 1 but not the other seasons, I think that's a bit different. I could be wrong again. They could have just assumed that some intern uploaded them all or added the whole catalog, but then didn't. I don't know how it works there. Aspen May needs some violet gin to match her current project. BritBox is my current subscription, so I'm just been binging random period dramas. Nice. I've got a lot of Jane Austen on DVD. A few different versions of Persuasion. I've got the 25th anniversary set of Pride and Prejudice. What else have I got? Emma, 2 different versions of Emma. Yeah. I tried to watch the most recent version of Emma and I don't know, it just didn't gel. Like it was just like usually everyone's so languid in how they move and everything is so slow. And in this one, everyone scurries and it felt weird. It felt weird that they were all scurrying around the place. So yeah. It just didn't have the same sort of chill factor. In saying that, I actually really like Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies as well. I think that's a really fun movie. So that was a fun take. That was a fun take. I love crime shows. Crime shows are great. I watch a lot of crime shows. I like Midsummer Murders. I like all the NCISs, all the CSIs. I do not like true crime. I don't. I don't like anything based on true stories that is in any way scary. I can watch the worst like Criminal Minds episode and be like, "Oh, that was a bit eerie," or "Oh gosh, that was a bit full on," and have no problems. I can watch something that's half as bad and that was based on a true crime or this is based on true story, nightmares for ages. And what I really hate is when I didn't realize that it was based on something until the end when the credits are rolling. Whereas if I had just turned it off before the credits got to a certain point, I would never have noticed it and I would have been fine. But then, you get to this point and then it's like, this was based on a true story. And you're just like, oh, man, I'm never going to sleep again. All right, let's check the tea. That's better. It's still hot, but it's not burn your face off hot. All right. Next color. So flip. The camera's not doing great on the colors here, but it's doing okay. Do you guys want to know something funny? You know how to go all the way back out to find a hook for it? Its hook is in the project bucket. I'm like, I could have sworn I left a hook with it, but whatever. All right. Yeah. Alison says she doesn't like true crime either. And look, the reality is half of these episodes are probably inspired by an actual crime proceeding or something. Fine. But don't write on there that it's true crime. I'm never going to sleep again. Light color. There we go. Have we used this one recently? Or at all? Wait. No. There's a color here I haven't used at all. Because I thought I was having to double up some of the colors. Wood. All right, messy ball. Where's your end? Well, tidy up the ball. That can be the task. Tidy the ball. All righty. We've got yarn. Let's get comfy. Okay. Let's just bring this table down just a little. All righty. Joined on the new yarn. You just make it the 5 and the 1. Is that right? 5 and the 1. All right. This is where I normally screw it up and have to go back and redo it, and I don't realize it till I've come all the way back, and I'm like, oh wait. So hopefully I've done it right. Oh yeah, hey Abby. Just finished watching. Did you binge that last night? Didn't you? That was filmed. There was some of the locations were around here, and we were sort of like, hey, that's over that place, and that's down near there, and so that's cool. Abby likes Grey's Anatomy. She does, very much so. Yeah, that's the one that Abby's seen. Yeah, so Abby's enjoyed it, I think. I mean, she did binge it all, so Alison says she watched a series called The Payback. I got into a few seasons of Grey's Anatomy, but I kind of like, it's like any of those sorts of shows. I kind of go in and out with them. And then because I was watching it when it was on TV, that's how long ago I watched it. I was like, oh, I've missed a couple of seasons. I'm not gonna be able to sort of get back into it. I'm not gonna know who any of the people are. So I just leave it. Just double check I've done the right thing at the start. It looks correct. Okay. Hey, Abby, do you think Nana would like this blanket, or do you think she really wants the mosaic blanket when it's done? Audible keeps recommending the book Boy Swallows Universe for me. Oh, there you go. I don't know how different the book would be from the series. I haven't really done either. Abby says no clue. Yeah. My mum, when she was here, was like letting me know how much she really likes the mosaic blanket and kept patting it. So I'm thinking she's leaning towards the mosaic, but she didn't see this one because it was in a crate tucked away. So I don't know. I don't like unsolved murders or disappearances. It's frustrating not to have I agree. Yes. And I also hate it when like a show is cancelled mid-season and there's a cliffhanger. That bugs me. And like the cliffhanger, it's just a forever cliffhanger. Or like, it was axed in between seasons, but so you didn't get the resolution of what that cliffhanger was going for. That annoys me as well. But I have like a lot of like dumb light shows that I like to watch. Like it's like last night I watched The School of Good and Evil. Like I think it's supposed to be like a teen show, but I enjoy it. And there was another one that I liked that was also a guilty pleasure like that, which was I want to say Vampire Academy. I can't remember. I think that's what it was called. It was the movie. I never read any of the books, and that's the thing. Like with both of these, I've never read the books. I just I just like the movie that they made. I was kind of hoping for another Vampire Academy movie, but it never happened. See, I didn't watch Stargate Universe. I was in the middle of rewatching SG1 when it came out. So I was like, I'll watch that afterwards. And then when it got axed like really early, I was just like, okay, there's a reason for that. Like we got SG1, we got Stargate Atlantis, and then they cancelled Universe. Like there was issues. So I actually never got into it. Abby says, I want to watch Bump, but I don't have Stan. There you go. We don't have all the streaming services. But maybe we can cancel one and get Stan later down the track, Abs. We switch between them every now and again. Which one were you reading with your eldest? Was it the Vampire Academies or something else? I'm not sure. I think The Tourist is on. I thought I saw The Tourist on something else as well. I'm a bit of a Gerard Butler fan as well, so I will tend to rewatch like Hunter Killer and all the Olympus Has Fallen and all those movies. Although I haven't watched the third one. I tried to watch it at the start, but when they tried to like make him be the bad guy, I was just like, I can't watch this. So I never watched the end of it. I'll get there. I need to have a brain day where I'm okay with it. But yeah, I don't mind the Gerard Butler action movies. We call them like every now and again. Tim will come out like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, "A blowy uppy movie," and he's like, "Oh, okay." So it could be Gerard Butler. It could be like White House Down with Channing Tatum. Something where things go explodey. So it depends. It's like, where's my brain? Am I in a sci-fi mood? Am I in a something else mood? But I tend to watch a lot of like the procedurals, like NCIS, Numbers, CSIs. Like I like all those. Yeah, pay for a month. I mean, that's always an option as well. Just get it for a month. Abby's birthday's coming up. I'll buy it for her for a month. That'd be funny. Happy birthday. Here's a month of Stan. Enjoy your present. Oh, you read the Vampire Academy. Okay. Oh, the School for Good and Evil is what you read. Okay. So is it a series of books? Because like the ending of the movie is just like, hang on a second. It's definitely open. It's not like, movie is over. It's that tale is over, but it's definitely open that there's space for more with the arrow coming through the portal. Oh my gosh. Aspen finally got through the yarn bath. Only took 1,200 double crochets. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look, Mission Impossible does have explodey bits, but it also has Tom Cruise. So I'm not a big Tom Cruise fan. And I know that's controversial. And for me it's hard because I love Simon Pegg. I don't like Tom Cruise. Do I watch Mission Impossible? I've watched a couple of them, but I just can't. I don't know. I can't separate Tom Cruise, the person, from Tom Cruise, the actor. Whereas some actors I can do that with. Tom Cruise, I can't. What's his name? What's the guy's name who played Rocket Raccoon in the Marvel movies? I can picture his face. I saw him in a movie where he played like this one particular role, and he did it so freaking well. It was so believable that now in my brain, he is a horrible person to me. And I know he was acting and I know it was a role, but now whenever I see his face, my brain instantly goes, don't like that person. But like it was a character he was playing. And so now I can't watch any of his other movies where I see his face. Like if he does voices and stuff, cool. Cool. Bradley Cooper, that's it. That's him. When he's doing voices and everything, no problems. But the second I see his face, my brain instantly goes, oh, that guy. He deserves a punch in the throat. It was just because he played a role really well. It's not because of anything he's done in real life or anything, and I feel like so dumb. But anyway, welcome back, Sally. I don't mind the occasional sort of like teen zombie movie, but I haven't been able to really get into like proper zombie stuff or even proper vampire stuff. Like which is really bizarre for me because like I do love science fiction and fantasy, and yet I'm not a fan of zombies and I'm not a huge fan of vampires. Like I never watched any Twilight movies. I never read the Twilight books. I mean, I tried to watch I tried to read a Twilight book. It was like reading bad fan fiction. So I was just like, nope, don't have time for that. I heard you talking about Gerard Butler. Have you seen The Last Scene? No, I haven't. Game Widow says I like to watch Hot Fuzz when she needs a laugh. There you go. I'm like that with Austin Powers. I never watched the movie, but the commercials got me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I've got there are some like, but then I like Vampire Academy. Do you know what I mean? So it's bizarre. But I think it's because with Vampire Academy, how they played the vampires and stuff was totally different. So yeah. I don't know. Bianca says the fan fiction for it's probably better than the original, possibly. I mean, I can't really judge it like the movies or anything just because I didn't get into them. Shannon says Hot Fuzz is an amazing movie. I don't know if I've seen it. I'm going to have to check. I don't think I've seen Hot Fuzz. Shaun of the Dead, yeah, watched that a few times. See, and that's a zombie movie I got into, but I think it was because it was, who was in it and how they played it, and it was different. I was probably like out of all of the cast picks for the new series of not the new series, but the new series of movies. I was so happy when Simon Pegg was picked for Scotty. Like, sure, yep, everyone else is cool, like them, like happy with all the picks, but was like super happy with just super happy when I saw Simon Pegg. Let's see if this fixes anything. Yeah, that fixed up the colors a little bit, but it made it a bit darker. There we go. We'll go with that. Last Human Alive is basically his wife getting kidnapped and he gets the blame and nobody believes him. Oh, so it's a bit like that one where with what's his face, whereas the one-armed man killed his wife, Harrison Ford. Shaun of the Dead? Yeah, is Shaun of the Dead? Is that the name of the movie? I could be wrong. Simon Pegg is great, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't read the grey books either. That's definitely not my taste of books. But everyone was telling me how wonderful it was, and I did try to read it, and I got through about the first 6 pages and just noped out of it. I'm like, "Nope." Oh, definitely Shaun of the Dead, one of the thank you. Yeah, yeah, Shaun of the Dead. So, it was so fun. It was such a fun movie. Um, there was another one. It was like another I don't know. I try to watch, like, the sort of, the critically acclaimed movies and stuff sometimes, and you're just like, I just can't get into it. I just I don't know. Sometimes it depends on my brain. Oh my gosh. Game of Widows. Absolutely. Evolution was hilarious. It was so silly and just fun. It's just fun. Oh my gosh. Yes. And how Head and Shoulders saved the day. Be so funny if they, like, contacted various shampoo companies to see which ones would sponsor the movie, and that's how they how they did it. But yeah, I was just like, does Head and Shoulders really have selenium in it? Oh dear. Caw. Um, gosh. It is. It's fun. It's fun. I think my little overhead camera is playing up. It's a bit blurry, so oh, it has zinc, not sure about selenium. Because wasn't it that they needed the selenium for evolution? I don't know. Haven't seen Shaun of the Dead in ages? Me neither. Me neither. When you're, like, powering along, you're like, "Wait a second, how many stitches am I doing?" Ugh, itchy nose. This yarn's getting a bit dusty, so I'm starting to get like, I should have had some hay fever tablets for it. Macy's looking for humans. I can hear her out there doing the walk around and the meowing. Yeah, Brazil nuts would have worked as well. Probably not as easy to get a sponsor or, to pump it into the tunnels or spray it. I can't even remember how they dispensed it. I just remember it being in a big truck. Um, it was selenium? Alright. Well, that's good because I was, like, beginning to wonder if my brain had just forgotten. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Oh, flip the dusty blanket. Oh, needs a wash. Definitely needs a wash after this one's done. Regretting going from the outside of the ball. I should have just wrapped it around it. I thought there was more bath than there was. Um, they could have made some good nutter butter jokes. Yes, they could have. Absolutely. Um, gosh, yeah. Definitely a fun one to watch. It's just like suspend reality, have a good laugh, and move on. I like movies like that sometimes. What I might do is actually just no, it's not solving that problem at all. I don't know what it is. It just does it sometimes. And what's bizarre is I haven't changed any of the settings. Everything's what it was. And this week it's a little bit blurry. I love movies that have really bad, silly puns in them, and they're mostly animated movies. Oh, yeah. Oh, let me look. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Aspen May. Time to stand again. All right, let us do it. Up we go. And then fix that. All righty. Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate you. Oh, lift the microphone. Isn't it funny? I have to tilt the camera down, but lift the microphone up. All righty. Leaning. The Gnome franchise was funny. Yeah. So were the Smurfs. I like the Smurfs too. They were silly and fun. Another dumb movie that I really liked was what was it called? Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers? I'd read the book, right? And I thought, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And then the movie was absolutely not even closely related to the book. They had the name and the description of one of the alien races, and that it was a bit of a war movie, a bit of a war story. And other than that, nothing else was the same, right? So initially, I was disappointed. Then when I took it for what it was, which was like just a spoof movie, like it was just hilariously dumb. Once I was like with that, once I got that down, I was like, okay, cool. I can like this one. So yeah. And that's the thing, like, especially because like I've read a lot of the books. So going in and watching something after I've read the books sometimes can be really disappointing. Like the Wheel of Time series, it's so different than the books, honestly. It's not a bad series and it's well made and it's got good actors. But if you've read the books, it's like, wait, that doesn't happen for ages. Why is that happening now? And things like that. So like they basically plowed through the first 2 books in the first season with like hints from the 3rd and 4th book. And it's like you've got like a huge amount of information you're just ditching to speed the story along. So how many seasons did you want to have? Like you're not going to be able to do a season a book. So yeah. Parts of it I like how they've done. I like the costumes were phenomenal. I'm so happy with how they've done the costumes. The soundtrack is good. Some of the characters that they've created were just phenomenal, how they've created them. But just some of the storylines of the story arcs of the main characters already are off. And you're just like, really? Like, yeah, sure. In the book, sometimes it dragged on a little bit, and you're just like, really? Do we need this to still be going? But for them to like jump over it entirely. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to be familiar with the book and then watch the movie or the TV show. Absolutely. And vice versa as well. Like with Bones, I watched this TV series before I read the books. And the books were just so different. But once I accepted the books for what they were as well, and that I basically, my brain, I put them as the characters have the same names, but that is it. Oh, same with okay, I never really got into True Blood either, but yeah, that went for a long time. That was another one that a lot of people really liked. Mm. How many twists do I need to do, Chantel? Just one. Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting, like, you know, these writers wanna make it their own. It's just like, you know what? Make it your own for sure. Yes. Write your own original thing. If you wanna if you like, Dresden Files was a great example of a phenomenally popular series of books that got turned into a series that alienated all of the book, or not all, but a lot of the book lovers. And you're just like, way to go. Way to go, production companies. That could have been a series that went on for years, but no, you had to make it your own and totally change things from the book. I mean, sometimes it can work, like the Phryne Fisher murder mysteries. They're different in the books than they are in the TV series. It can work, but one thing that people who love the books, who also enjoyed the series, it's a little bit like Me and Bones. You just had to disconnect the two. Same names. That's about it. So, yeah. How are you all going with your projects? Everyone who's working on a project right now, how are you going on it? And is anybody else doing sit stand with me, or am I by myself today? I know I usually had Kelly with me, but she's focusing on work, like actual her job, which, you know, that's cool. It's cool. Yeah. There we go. Let's have a look. Bianca's just arrived home. Awesome, Bianca. Dolores says my puppy's making me stand regularly. Excellent. Excellent. And I realized that when I was trying to raise the desk before, I reprogrammed the sit to be the same height as the raised. So I'll have to fix that up later. Aspen May says, I'm standing and stretching for each of the changes, but can't really work standing up though. Fair enough. Fair enough. If my desk didn't come with me, I wouldn't be able to either. Especially with blankets and things. You need something to take the weight. Usually it's your lap. Yeah. I am actually just gonna have a little stretch. My back is very angry. That is the last of my sparkling water. I'm actually disappointed. Next time, I think I'm going to fill my big cup with the sparkling water. I just make it, it's just standard tap water that I put through the soda stream. It's not like, you know, bold, fancy. It's soda streamed. Was anybody else like, I don't know how many people here have got a soda stream, right? But does anybody else was so disappointed when they got their soda stream they weren't supposed to do things like make sparkling apple juice, like you're not supposed to put apple juice in there to make it sparkling. I was so disappointed because that was like I love sparkling apple juice, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, I can legit make my own with, like, as much bubbles as I want." Only to realize, no, the answer is no. So, um, the kittens are on the warpath, so not getting much weaving done. I like that. Um, there needs to be there needs to be a bookwhacker person in movies, making TV series, someone whose job it is to read the book, and whenever the director goes, "Yeah, but what if?" Look, technically there is. There is somebody doing that job, um, in most instances, but quite often the writers and directors just go on their own paths. It's kinda disappointing. I mean, look at what happened with The Witcher. The Witcher went off the books and they lost Henry Cavill. And they're like, "Yeah, whatever, we'll be fine." And it's just like, "No, yous won't." How many people are now not watching The Witcher because Henry Cavill's done? Like, I have no intention on watching the next season. Um, uh, I remember my husband putting flat Coke in the soda stream to rebubble, and it didn't go well. We only just purchased our soda stream, and I think it heard a conversation here regarding only some machines being able to sparkle drinks other than water. So I knew what we were getting. Yeah. Me, luckily, Stuart loves our soda stream. Me, not so much. It's too gassy. But you can put however much gas you want, right? Like that's the thing I love. Like I like mine like as bubbly as I can make it. I like to open the bottle and it go psh, and like because I'm a Schweppes girl, I like all the effervescence. So yeah. SMA Sky says I got behind 26 minutes watching in 1.75 is funny. Oh my gosh. Um Me. See, I'm not watching, so I'm glad I'm not alone, Alison. And part of it's not just because there's no Henry Cavill, it's because I know they went off the books, and that how they dealt with it was just get rid of the actor who was jumping up and down about it, rather than actually solve the problem. For Wheel of Time, Brandon Sanderson was a consultant, and he even said that they didn't always listen to him. They quite often don't listen to the consultants. They're like, "Yeah, thanks for your input," and then just go on their merry way. So, like, you know, it's frustrating if you're a fan of the book and you're not getting that. I'm gonna sit back down again. See, for me, with the sitting and the standing, I'm trying to deal with a sore back, which needs me to stand, but sore knees, which want me to sit. So it's just like, oh man. But as long as I get up and move around a little bit, it should be all right. Oh, Sal said I had no idea Henry Cavill wasn't going to be in it yet. Who did they replace him with? It was one of the Hemsworths. They replaced him with a Hemsworth. Um, Percy Jackson with Disney has been good, but the author was really involved in making it. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been very different. I haven't read the books. I'd only watched the first movie, but I remember reading a lot about when people watched the first movie that it wasn't sort of how it was supposed to be. They'd missed some important stuff, which apparently they're putting into the series. I mean, that's the other thing. Like when you're doing a series, you've got more time to do things as well. So I'm just gonna I'm getting the problem of I've been pulling the middle out too much while it's been wrapping around the outer, so or unwrapping around the outer, I should say. We're nearly at the end of the row. Liam Hemsworth, Liam Neeson. Was sad Stargate Universe was cancelled, but the writing wasn't great towards the end. Loved Atlantis. I love the way they use history in the Stargate series. Me too. I thought it was a really fun blend. Yeah, they go overkill. Yeah. Hence the need for a bookwhacker. Absolutely. Oh, David Hewlett was so fun. I didn't realize he had live streams. I'm gonna have to go and hunt them down. I really enjoyed him. He was a lot of fun. Oh, you don't like the bubbles? I like the bubbles. Yeah, look, one of the things, right? Like I agree with this statement for a start. But aside from that, the thing I loved was how much, like, because Henry Cavill is a big old nerd, right? And it was just how much he loved the source material made it so enjoyable. Like, because I would be like, can you imagine, right? If you absolutely loved a book series and you were able to actually work on the TV show, can you imagine just how exciting that would be? Like all the time bringing it to life for other people. Like that was sort of where my brain went with it. And then to find that, that they stole that joy by just changing it and changing it and changing it so that only those people who have never read the book would actually enjoy it. It's disappointing. It's so disappointing. My 17-year-old is obsessed with Percy Jackson and she said it is really good, although still TV from books. Yeah. There's always a limitation, right? Because when when authors are writing books, they don't have to think about how hard is it going to be to turn this into television? Like, is it going to have to be like full CGI? Is it going to be expensive? Because what's his name? The Australian author who wrote like an absolute ton of action books. Matthew Riley. When someone asks, are you disappointed that your books aren't really being made into movies? And he was just like, they would be really expensive movies to make. Because he didn't write the books with like thinking about production. He wrote the books thinking about a good story. So it's different. Like when you're writing, it's so different writing for a book than it is to write a script. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how Warhammer will go. I'm also very curious to see how Highlander will go. I really did enjoy the Highlander movie, the original one. I didn't really see any of the TV series, so I don't have any background with that. But I enjoyed the movie. Yeah, so they haven't restarted the Percy Jackson movies. They've made a Percy Jackson TV series. So yeah. Esme says, I not a movie really, but I got into The Walking Dead because I know one of the actors. See, isn't that funny how like something like for me, I didn't really get into the boys. I tried to because of Carl Urban, but I couldn't push myself. And then when Jensen Ackles joined the cast, I tried again. I still couldn't do it. It was just too much for me. Like I'm really glad it exists, but it's a little overly graphic for me. But yeah, so like when there's, I mean, not that I know either of those people, but I enjoy their other shows, so I thought I might enjoy this too. But I don't really know anybody. Like I've got a friend of mine who does like some extras work for like true crime reenactments and stuff, and so that's interesting to watch. But other than that, I don't think I really know any actual television or movie actors. I don't think so. Not in. Yeah. I know some voice actors, but not actual actors. Um, Alison says I've tried watching The Boys a few times, but I gave it a miss. Yeah, and like the thing is, right? They've been able to make that TV series really close to the comics, so it is a really graphic comic. So, it's one of those things. So, but I never got into the comic. So, I watched the first season of Umbrella Academy, and I love that. But I just when second season came out, I just didn't start watching it again. And do you know what's really funny is I really enjoyed watching. Was it Big Sky? Might have been Big Sky. For the first couple of seasons of that, I loved it. And then Jensen Ackles came in at the end of one of the seasons, and I haven't watched any of those episodes. So I'm just like, oh, bad fan. You're a bad fan. Game Widow says my brother, the cut price Hagrid, pops up as an extra sometimes. Cut price Hagrid. Does he know you call him cut price Hagrid? Like, oh, that's gold. I don't even like, who do I even go after that, honestly? I haven't watched the movie, and I tried rewatching the TV series, and I couldn't do it. Which one was that for Holly? Oh, he does know. That's hilarious. Which movie and TV is that? Percy Jackson? I don't know. I don't know what we're. Oh, Highlander. Highlander. It was very dated. It was a very dated movie. Bianca says I watched the first season of The Boys and it was too horrible. I couldn't even watch it for Jensen. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I haven't been able to watch the final season of Supernatural either. Once I realized it was the final season, I noped right out of it. I'm like, nope. And because I was behind and everyone told me how bad the ending is, I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be part of that. And I'm the same for Chuck. I haven't watched the final season of Chuck. I do that because then in my brain it's not over. It's not finished if you don't watch the end. La la la. I may have to like if there is discussions around the traps that the Supernatural cast are trying to work on something. And if that happens, I may have to watch the 15th season just so that I can enjoy that, depending on what it is and, you know, going from there. Look, I love Chuck. I really do, like the TV series. It was, it was baddie of the week kind of thing, but with an underlying storyline. I really enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was very good. And I wasn't a Zachary Levi fan before it or anything like that. Very much a fan after it though. So, alrighty. We're going to keep going with this one. Yeah. I'll add the black on. Throw that in the bucket. Alrighty. Yeah. Where's the end? Come hither. I think one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I'm going to have to finish this soon is I'm actually starting to run out of black of all things. Because I realized I had 15 balls of the black left over. And I think I'm down to the final 3. I used to work with a guy who was on blue healers. We didn't know until someone was home with the flu and rang to say she thought she was delirious, but she'd just seen Wayne on TV. Yeah, it's one of those funny things, isn't it? And you know what? I watch blue healers every now and again, and I'm like, hang on a second, that's Longmire, or hang on a second, that's such and you know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of people who like Hugh Jackman's on there. Like, there's a lot of people with like little bit roles that are like, hang on, that's a very young, Greg Fleet or whatever. Like, it is really funny. And Abby, Abby watches blue healers. Abby likes blue healers, and the new NCIS Sydney has William McInnes in it, and it's some years on. It's some years on, and as a human, he has aged, and it did take Abby just a hot minute to work out who it was. Bianca says I didn't watch the last season of Person of Interest because of what I heard about the ending. Yeah, it's like you don't want to ruin the rest of the series for yourself, so you just avoid the end of it. You went and confronted him and he came clean. He was the train master. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Aspen May says we lived with the doctor from Blue Healers for a while. She also did prop work for the Lord of the Rings. Oh wow, there you go. It's hard to remember that actors are still people, right? I was reading a funny thing, like, Google suggests news articles, and this was not a news article, but it was like, fluff. It was some fluff, so I read it. And it was a story about when Brad Pitt and what's his name? Jason Priestley from 90210. They were housemates together before either of them got their big roles, their big breakout roles. And they were talking about, what it was like being like broke, young wannabe actors living in like North LA. And like, what was in the fridge? Beer. Okay. But yeah, it's one of those funny things. You remember these are still people. They're still people. They've got a fun job, but they're still people. It's like the Flying Doctors. It was filmed a little town near where I grew up. Met many of the actors and even popped up in a background of one episode. Oh wow, there you go. I don't think I've never been in like I've been in a news article, but not in a series. So yeah, that would be fun. I think nerve-wracking but fun. I was actually thinking the other week, like, I was like, if I ever got to go to the US, I definitely want to go somewhere where they were filming something just so I could see. I know that they try and keep people away, and so they're out of shots and stuff like that, but I could see all the background workings. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see how it all sort of unfolds to make the, because I love TV and I love movies and I did theater lighting and theater sound for a really long time, but I'd love to see the difference but for making a television show or a movie. So yeah, I think that would be fun. I really do. Um yeah, it would be interesting. Um I really like listening to podcasts and watching podcasts about actors when they're talking about, the shenanigans on set and things like that. That really cracks me up. That it just sort of brings it more to life for me. I like that, Sally. That would be fun. Yeah, proper camping can take the gloss off a lot of people. Absolutely, it can. D Hewlett is his channel. It should be an easy search. Thank you. Thank you. I will definitely look out for it. So, those of you that do like listening to podcasts, YouTube and Google are closing down the YouTube podcast app. So, keep an eye on your app. There'll be a button so that you can export all of your podcasts over to YouTube Music. I don't have the button yet, or at least I didn't yesterday. Let me just double check. Let me just look podcast. No, I still don't have an export podcast button, but rolling out soon. Because they're going to be shutting the app down. I think it'll be done and dusted. I think you still be able to listen to podcasts on it for a little while longer, a few more months, but then it'll be done and dusted. But yeah, so keep an eye out for it. I mean, I've only got it on my Android device, so it might already have rolled out for Apple devices, but you should be able to just export your podcast history to YouTube Music, and you can start adding them in manually now. So yeah. Um, Yeah, because I've been rewatching Sanctuary. A lot of the like Amanda Tapping, who was also in a lot of the Stargate stuff. It like you've got some of the actors that appear in both Sanctuary and Stargate Atlantis and Stargate and stuff. So it's cool. The original Wizard of Oz was a series of workplace health and safety breaches. Look, you probably find that's the case with like a pile of older movies. Like, I could imagine that they would not be making them like that now, for sure. Yeah. Here we go. Powering along with this blanket. I think I measured it the other day. Let me just check the Discord. I think I put the measurements in the Discord. Fibrific Discord. Progress. Okay, so Abby's blanket is now hang on a second. Where's my ball? 14. 118 centimeters. And then this one. Is this one in? Oh, maybe this one's not in. I thought I put it in. I thought I put all my blankets in. Maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I measured it. Let me look. I thought I took photos and measured and oh, that's what it was. I got one photo. Macy was trying to eat the yarn. So I think that's as far as I got because I had to defend the blanket. Alrighty. Tea. Where is the hook? There it is. Oh, Stuart was a pistol spinning cowboy. That's kind of funny. The snow was asbestos. The Tin Man was painted in actual metal-based paint and got poisoned. The witch got burnt and refused to refilm the scene, so they got a stunt double. And who they got even worse burns. Oh, wow. Far out. I knew about the Tin Man. I didn't know about the others. Gosh. Isn't it funny when you sort of I with some like action movies and stuff like that, I try not to dig into them too much just because I'm like, okay, like that was a crazy scene. I do not want to know how many people got hurt making that scene. Tim and I were talking the other day about how many different options they have for getting like in-car footage now. Like it used to just be like the really bad green screens around the car windows, like for a lot of TV series and stuff. And they still do that. But just um just that there's more options now. You know, there's the car on the trailer to get real life shots, and there's, you know, like on the rollers with a rolling screen behind it, and yeah, there's a lot of options now. There we go. Don't forget the yeah, like, you know, like I heard the stories about Shirley Temple and all that sort of yeah, some of it back then was just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Yeah, I definitely prefer, like, you know, those stories not to happen. But, like, I just like sort of like the fun jokes. Like, that's probably one of the reasons why I really like Supernatural is how much footage they catch for their gag reels of them just being idiots. And, like, that was the same thing for, like, Firefly did a similar thing. They had a really great gag reel. I like all that sort of stuff. Oh, that sounds pretty cool too, SMA Sky. I'll have to have a look. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Now this week I will catch up on the Mosaic blankets colors. I've nearly finished the colors for this week's clue for the sun gold blanket. I'm going to take that with me tonight to Caffeinated Crafters. So if you wanted to have a pat, you can. Just, you know, it's there's a lot. Oh, have I done the right thing? Yes, keep going. I'm nearly at the end of the row. Excellent. I can hear Tim moving around in the kitchen. It must nearly be lunchtime. Let me have a look here. Yes, it is. Now I did try to I really did try to add this to the Facebook group because, you know, if you're over there, you'll see that there were two posts, but it just wouldn't connect up. I know that there's a problem streaming to Facebook groups. I didn't want to just stream to the page. So, you know, but I thought I'd give a try. So if you're wondering what those were over on the Facebook group, that's what that was about. It was me trying to do this. I know that on my other channel where I stream Mondays, I'm going to have a try adding in LinkedIn. I've been able to connect it all up, but whether or not it'll work is a whole nother question. So we'll give that a test this week and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, just, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Bianca, I wish they'd made more Firefly too. I mean, I'm glad they made the movie, like Serenity. Like it gave us a lot of good closure. I'm glad they did that. But yeah, I think there is someone. I think it was Sony who had the IP on that and who cancelled it. I think there's someone at Sony who basically was not a popular person when it was axed with the sheer number because it was becoming a cult favorite. If they had given it a second season, I think they would have seen that. But you know, they didn't. I get frustrated when they cancel shows after one season. You're like, okay, so especially if they're short seasons, like you've barely given anyone any time to enjoy the characters and you've already decided to axe it. Like, really? I kind of felt that way about the Winchesters. I enjoyed the episodes. But it was very different to Supernatural. And so you needed the time to readjust and to check out the characters and get to know get to become, enjoy it and all that sort of stuff. But then it was axed like really fast. So it's like I just hope that's, now that all the strikes and what have you are over, because that was part of it. It all came up for renewal right in the middle of all of that. So hopefully that will do something. Because like CW axed an absolute boatload of really good shows. Oh, has anyone noticed that the CW has changed their name now? They're no longer the CW, they're just CW. Oh, that was totally worth that budget for how much it cost to rebrand. Just remove the. Anyway. Yeah, I agree with you, Holly. I feel that they don't give them anywhere near enough time because the other thing is, like, they're not being picked up for television in Australia. So unless you have the correct streaming service and you know it's coming, you've got no way to know to watch it, to support it. So, like, that's the other thing, is you've got all these people that would probably love it if they had access to it to see it. Aspen May says rewatching Firefly again. Oh, that's awesome. I was actually going through my DVDs the other day and I was like, oh, look at that. I've got Firefly and I've got Serenity, and I'm like, maybe I should sit down and watch those. But I've got the box set of Supernatural now. I got that for my birthday. And one of the reasons why I really wanted it is for all the blooper reels and stuff that you don't get when you watch the streaming services. I really love physical media, right? I love having the DVDs and the Blu-rays and watch the, like, you rewatch it with like the special features on, and you've got like Babylon 5 is a really good one for it. Where you've got the cast talking about the episode while the episode's playing. What do they call it? That's got a word. It's got a name. I can't think of the name. Anyway, love those a lot. And it's really funny. Like, the cast getting back together after however many years shooting these sort of things. And it cracks me up. And they'll be like, oh my gosh, do you remember when we shot this and you had to, and they're like, yes, I do remember that. As for May says, we usually end up watching it about once a year. That's the thing, isn't it? You get a favorite and you do just rewatch it. Commentaries. Thank you. That's exactly what they are. Commentaries. I love the commentaries. That's one of my favorite parts of buying the physical media, is getting access to the commentary. Yeah, Leanne, I'm with you. Like, it does put me off watching a first season until I know what's going on. Like, I find it frustrating when you sort of get sucked into a series and it's like, definitely there's room for a second season, or there's a cliffhanger, and then you're like, oh yeah, they didn't renew that. You're just like, what, really? And like, I know they have to cancel it at some stage. There has to be a point when they can decide, okay, this isn't working. But it just makes me frustrated because it's always shows I like that get axed after like 1 or 2 seasons. I'm like, really? Did you really give that a chance? I mean, admittedly, I'm watching it 2 years later because I didn't know it existed. That's part of it, right? Alrighty. Well, we have hit our 2 hours. I might just bring that back down again. Whoops, there we go. Oh, no, don't show the back wall where the sticky tape's holding everything up. I'm like, actually, I'm still showing the sticky tape. So let me just blip. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today while we sat and stood and crafted and made socks and blankets and all the good things. I love these live chat sessions, and I'm really glad that you guys get to come along and enjoy them with me as well. I will see you here next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Have an awesome week now. Bye.